A question was brought up on the Box 5 subreddit basically asking, do you think making Phantom of the Opera, the Andrew Lloyd Webber show, into a movie should be tried again? And oddly enough, I've not really thought about that. I mean, I guess it is possible. Look how many times Phantom of the Opera, the story itself, has been remade and reshaped. Though I highly doubt anyone will be able to touch the Andrew Lloyd Webber show to make it into a film as long as Lord Andy is around. He seems to take a big role in any adaptation of his work, and so if we wanted to make any meaningful changes to the story, he would have to not be involved. It would probably be clear to studios that there is an audience to see another Phantom of the Opera film. I mean, look how much money is spent on going to see the Broadway film. Hell, look at how much money is spent by people seeing the Broadway show multiple times. For some, seeing Phantom of the Opera is a tradition or a repeated event depending on who's playing the Phantom or Christine. Though it's really hard to say what could be changed for the film or what should they do. I mean, of course, there's the obvious ones that we all know didn't work with the 2004 film. Gerard Butler not being able to sing, Emmy Rossum not being the strongest soprano, the pointless added scenes, the lack of a deformity, Carlotta apparently not being able to sing, stuff like that. But again, it's hard to say what then should they add. I mean, for all its flaws, the 2004 film stuck pretty close to its musical counterpart. Not to mention, we already have the 2011 anniversary show that is on film, so in order to justify making yet another Phantom film, there kinda needs to be something on offer. Something that you could only get with this new film and not anywhere else. I mean, again, the anniversary production is just a film stage musical, but for the most part, it still can be considered the definitive version to a lot of fans. I guess it's just not quite obvious to me what a movie version of the Andrew Lloyd Webber show should do to improve on the 2004 version. But of course, that is not to say that I don't know what I'm talking about, or anyone who criticizes the film doesn't know what they're talking about because they don't have an idea of what could be added to replace it. It's a common thing that I see in the analytical world, people sort of trying to criticize the critics by saying, well, what would you do differently? But that really doesn't discredit the criticism or respond to any of the faults brought up about it. I mean, we're critics, not directors or screenwriters. It's not really our job to suggest things to make it better. It's great when that happens, but we're really here to discuss the things that worked and the things that didn't, and why they happen to be that way. Any points made aren't suddenly less valid just because the person can't suggest what to do differently. Again, it's hard to say if we should have another Phantom film. I'd like to see elements of the Andrew Lloyd Webber show played with, altered a little bit, see what else we can come up with. And I feel like especially we can do that now that we have the 2011 anniversary filmed version. Maybe just little things that sort of recolor the story. Perhaps even give Christine more of a role in her own narrative. Again, I'm not certain, though I would still probably pay money to see this in theaters if it ever were to come out. I'm a sucker for Phantom of the Opera variations. Thank you for consuming this video, and until next time.